I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
No.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There is a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
All right, let's delve into the latest buzz surrounding Rachel Zegler, the Hollywood sensation known for her socially aware stance. Recently, she found herself at the heart of unexpected drama, all because of her candid remarks about Disney's beloved 1937 film Snow White and its stalker prince. In a series of interviews, Rachel expressed her views, which didn't set well with everyone. Now, her previously celebrated career is facing potential challenges due to the backlash she's receiving. Critics argue that her comments may jeopardize the positive image she has built over the years. In an attempt to clarify her stance, Rachel took to Instagram, sharing a video where she claimed her words were being twisted intentionally to portray her in a negative light. She skillfully wove a narrative of oppression, describing herself as a constant target of online harassment. According to her, being an actor makes her susceptible to continuous public criticism, regardless of her actions.
I just mean to be inside my brain. And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it.
As a huge Disney fan like all of you, this is the biggest dream come true I could possibly imagine for myself.
Rachel also acknowledged the impact of her comments on Snow White, clarifying that she never meant to be disrespectful. However, the question lingering in the air is whether this controversy will mark the downfall of her Hollywood journey. As the curtain falls on this unexpected scandal, we're left wondering, can Rachel navigate through this storm and continue her Hollywood dream? Join us in exploring the twists and turns of this controversy, where a single misstep could have lasting repercussions on the star's journey in the glamorous world of Hollywood. As we all know, the next Disney remake is hitting the screens in March 2024, featuring Rachel Zegler, the star of West Side Story, and the upcoming Hunger Games prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. However, this Snow White adaptation has stirred some controversy, especially among those who prefer things in the old way. Some folks not thrilled about Zegler being cast as the iconic princess due to her mixed Colombian and Polish heritage have raised eyebrows. But here's where it gets interesting. Zegler has managed to tick off more than just the usual suspects. It's not just about those fixated on preserving the supposed purity of cartoon princess bloodlines. Recently, people from various political and racial backgrounds seem to have issues with the 22-year-old actor. Why? Well, some old clips of interviews have resurfaced where Zegler talks about the progressive changes in the new Snow White version. So here's the scoop. Almost a year ago, Zegler, who was announced as the lead in Disney's live-action Snow White, talked with Extra TV at the 2022 D23 Expo. She discussed her upcoming role as the titular princess, mentioning that Snow White's story would be reimagined for today's more progressive time. This isn't unusual. We've seen similar changes in Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid. However, it's not just what Zegler said, but how she said it that seems to have caused a stir. While explaining the film's progressive makeover, Zegler criticized the original for being very much a product of the 1930s. She highlighted the focus on the love story with a guy who stalks her, calling it weird in a seemingly sarcastic voice. Zegler emphasized that her version is not about the love story, but Snow White's inner journey to find her true self, a change she finds wonderful. In another interview that recently popped up from last year, this time with Entertainment Weekly, Zegler shared that as a child, she found the animated Snow White movie so scary that she avoided it for over a decade. She only watched it again while preparing for her role in the new movie. In this interview, she pointed out that the original film feels extremely dated, in its ideas about women's roles and what they are fit for in the world. In the upcoming version, she explained that the famous phrase, "the fairest of them all," will now refer to the most just rather than the most beautiful. Now you might be thinking, this doesn't sound too controversial, so why are people mad at her? Well, it turns out a lot of TikTok users across all kinds of corners, not just the peculiar ones, are pretty upset. There are a few common reasons. First, fans of the original movie don't appreciate what they see as negative comments about a cherished childhood favorite. Some TikTok users are sharing clips of other actors, like The Little Mermaid's Bailey, who took a more graceful approach to promoting her film without criticizing the original.
Hate Snow White. This is Rachel Zegler. Her incredibly off-putting personality is not the only thing you will get out of Rachel Zegler while talking to her. She will remind you that she hates Snow White.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious.
Others think Zegler's interpretation of the almost century-old animated film is off. They don't see the prince as a stalker and view the film as focusing on Snow White's relationships with her dwarf friends. Some argue that there's nothing wrong with highlighting a love story, asking when it became a bad thing for women to want love. And of course, diehard Snow White fans aren't thrilled about someone who wasn't a big fan of the original leading the remake. Due to her reckless statements and seemingly careless attitude, some have suggested that Rachel may not be the best person to promote the film, despite playing the main character. She is recognized as a big-name star portraying one of the world's most famous fairy tale characters immortalized by Disney. However, instead of following the lead of the Little Mermaid's Halle Bailey and fully embracing her role, Rachel has actively chosen to reveal the new direction she has taken with Snow White. While acknowledging that it's not necessarily wrong for stories like Snow White to have different nuances and narratives if written today, concerns have been raised about Rachel's negative comments regarding the source material. Her dismissal of the old Disney film and the fairy tale has led to speculation that she may be overly eager to showcase the new version, showing little or no respect for the previous iterations. In one interview, Rachel jokingly attacked the male lead, suggesting that his role was not as important as hers, and even insinuating that his scenes could be cut from the movie. This attitude, especially considering the original cartoon's release in 1937, where there was a significant focus on the love story with a seemingly stalking prince, has generated criticism from fans. Some believe that Rachel's perceived obnoxious behavior reveals a self-centered attitude, contrasting with the image her character is meant to portray. However, this situation also ties into the usual trend we see on TikTok and other social media platforms, where criticism of one person becomes a popular way to get likes and followers. It's like a digital bandwagon. Unfortunately, Zegler isn't always the most polished celebrity in dealing with the media or the internet. Some find her demeanor charmingly awkward, while others perceive her as a bit too casual and annoying. Notably, in January of last year, Zegler faced criticism for posting a dramatic reading of Britney Spears' tweet during a public feud with her sister, Jamie Lynn Spears. Many considered it insensitive, especially given the Free Britney movement and the increased awareness of Britney's struggles. Then there was the time Zegler wasn't invited to the 2022 Academy Awards, even though West Side Story, in which she starred, received 7 nominations, including Best Picture. She voiced her frustration on social media, leading to a divisive reaction. Her outspokenness on social issues, like condemning racist backlash or expressing her views on controversial figures, has also sparked right-wing criticism. Are people standing up for her? Absolutely. Many are pointing out that the backlash against Zegler is blown out of proportion. Some note that her critics conveniently overlooked the times she expressed love for Disney and excitement about playing Snow White. There are defenders who appreciate Zegler's genuine and relatable demeanor, especially in contrast to a new generation of celebrities embracing a more down-to-earth approach on red carpets and social media. What about Zegler? How's she handling all this? As of now, Zegler hasn't directly addressed the brewing storm, but her tweets indicate she's aware of it. Alongside retweets supporting her, Zegler has shared messages encouraging kindness in the world. In one Twitter reply, she expressed a somewhat worrying sentiment, saying she thinks it's over. Ideally, this would invite more empathy than she's currently receiving. But some fans are still upset about what she said. One fan even posted saying, "It's funny how Rachel talks down about Snow White, but Snow White dealt with a rude negative stepmother for 14 years, and she still maintained a positive outlook on life. How does Rachel, a 22-year-old, deal with negativity? By crying online. Pathetic." One fan also commented saying, "The actors should voice their personal opinions so we can get a feel of who they really are." Zegler is a shining example of that. She only took the role for fame and money, nothing else. She obviously doesn't care about the character roles she plays. That will translate on the big screen, especially Snow White. I've rarely seen such contempt for the movie characters and fans. What do you think about all this? Do you think Zegler will bounce back stronger, or do you think this might ruin her career? Share your thoughts below. And as we await more updates, be sure to check out our next video for additional celebrity drama you didn't know you needed.